Okay, let's talk about your why. And by this I mean your big why. And I'll use myself as an example again, just so you can see an example of what I mean. But of course, your why is going to look different than this. So my why, I do this work first because I love it, because it feeds my soul, because it feels like my calling. It feels like I've been doing it since I was born, and I love that I get paid to do it. I also do this work because I love seeing other people's businesses light up, watching their experience of doing this passion-driven, soulful work totally transform. When they get their message really clear, when they name their voice, when they get that confidence and that ease that comes from having these tools that help them express themselves more powerfully in their business and attract the right clients. I love that. I do this work for that reason. And really, what's underneath all this for me is I believe that authentic, powerful self-expression is the path to mental and spiritual and emotional and physical and all the world's well-being, health and well-being. I mean, for me, I really believe when we are expressed, when we are authentically, powerfully, completely expressed in our lives, we are more compassionate, more loving, more generous people. And when we are that, we spread that like wildfire with the people around us. So really, my work, yes, it's about helping other people grow sustainable, wonderful businesses based on their passions. And it's about world peace in a way, yes? In a powerful way. I really believe that doing this work transforms people's lives beyond their businesses, and it helps them be more loving, compassionate people in the world. So that's my big why. I believe I'm changing the world with this work. Now, yours may not look like that. Yours may have a totally different path. But if you connect with the why, the bigger why, beyond the why that sort of first comes to your mind, it will help you get through those really tricky times when this gets really tough and it feels like, this isn't fun. Many of us do the work because it's fun and we love it. Well, you know what? Sometimes we don't love it and it's not fun. And if we're not connected to why we're doing the work, even when we don't love it and it's not fun, it's easy to give up. And you need to not give up. You need to be doing this work. I know it. I can feel that in my soul. So name your why. Name your big why here. There's a worksheet down below that'll help you clarify your big why, and also, really importantly, get it written down so that you can remind yourself about that. So we've talked about today in this first lesson, beliefs. And you've named, or you're going to name, some of the beliefs that may be getting in your way, sabotaging your big, bold expression in your business. And we're talking about how to get those out of the way and reframe them so that you can get out there bigger, bolder. And then, what is your big why? And to close out, I just want to tell you a little story that has to do with beliefs, because they are such a struggle. When I was interviewing Chris Brogan, who is my longest time mentor, for my business, he's the first one I learned about when I decided to start my online portion of my business. I couldn't believe I got to interview him, first of all. There's one belief that I moved out of the way when he said yes, and I got to do a face-to-face Skype session with him. It was fabulous. But in that, for my book, Soul Power to Your Message, I was asking him about how to help people make money when they speak. And he told me a story about, he was at a conference. He was charging $2,500 for speeches. That's what he believed his speeches were worth. Guy Kawasaki was at this same conference, and if you don't know who Guy Kawasaki is, go ahead and Google him. He's a best-selling author, brilliant, has done lots of amazing things. Guy Kawasaki walks by him in the back rooms of this conference and says, "Hey, Chris, I gave your name to some people. They're going to call you about speaking at a conference. I want you to charge them a lot of money." And he's walking by, and Chris Brogan says, "Well, hold on, wait, what's a lot of money? I charge $2,500 for a speech." And Guy Kawasaki says to him, "Charge him $25,000. So they call. Chris has this conversation with the people at this conference, and they say, "What do you charge?" They get to that point in the conversation where they say, "What do you charge?" And he says $25,000. And in that moment, He switched from someone who says $2,500 to a person who asked that question to someone who says 25,000. And guess what? They paid him 22,000. He's beyond that now, and he is definitely getting his full rates. But $22,000, he went from $2,500 to 22,000 because he removed the belief that what his speeches were worth was 2,500. So this is powerful stuff, and it can mean lots of money. It can also mean huge self-expression, and it can also mean that business that you so want and the impact that you want to make in the world. So do this work, okay? I'm at Michelle at michelleberryfranco.com if you need to ask me any questions. See you in the next lesson.